Ayy, say don't want come test me. Pick two rap with a sling might lick off and met like a man from Jesse. Heard that they talking that big talk, lip off, which God, listen, don't vex me. I'ma stand for the Father perpetually, definitely big man, don't get chesty. Any weapon they form, don't stress me. Ayy, I'm an Israelite child, no destiny. Separated, he chose and select me. In his rain, he clothed and he dressed me. Look, without him, my soul will be empty. To the Lord of the host, I confess thee. I don't do this for sport or for trendies. Disrespect it'll only get messy. Yeah, they can never take hold of my faith. I'ma stand with my sword at the gate. Holiness to the Lord on the plate. See, your idols ain't holding no weight. I ain't here trying to hold no debate. See, my God ain't no soul to replace. Disrespecting a stone in your face. Look, you must be a fool to con-
Go Yasharallah. Go Yasharallah. Go Yasharallah. Go Yasharallah. Go Yasharallah. I want to give all praises to Yahweh while Yahweh Shai, right? And we're going to kick this thing off today. Alright, how you doing today, brother?
Oh, all praise, man. You know what I mean? I just came out of Macy's, man. Trying to get rid of $80 shoes, man, for $10 Colombians.
Oh, okay. So you just got those at Macy's and you try to sell them today? So how you feel about the the Most High, how you feel about the Bible?
I believe in all of that.
You believe in all of that? What's your ethnicity? What's your nationality?
Black man.
Black man on your
You already
side?
know.
Alright, so you see yourself on this side? Because we out here bringing out the word. You see yourself on this side? Where you see yourself?
Israelite black man.
That's right.
That's right. You already know, family.
Right. You got to run? You got to run, kid? You got time for the word?
I got to feed the family.
You got to go feed his family, He's out here doing what you got to do, even though it's the Shabbat, but we're willing to, brother gets the edification. I hope brothers gave him a flyer, that way he can get the edification and, he can stop selling on the Sabbath and buying on the Sabbath, and he can choose to do that any other day, because today is a holy day, which is separate just for the Lord, right? Let's get into this lesson, right? Can you get me Proverbs chapter 19 and verse number 16? And can a brother give me that in the GNT? Proverbs 19 and 16 in the GNT. The brother got that? No, you can grab that. I need it in the GNT as well. Can you bring that up here?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul.
Read that again.
He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul.
Right. So if you keep the commandments of the Most High God, you keep your own soul. Right? What that's meaning is there's life in keeping the commandments, right? The commandments, by keeping them, there's life within that. Right? You can keep reading.
But he that despiseth his ways shall die.
Shall what?
Shall die.
Now they shall live.
Shall die.
Right. So if you despise the ways of the Most High, which is these laws, statutes, and commandments, then surely death is going to come to you, right? We're going to get that in another translation, just for better edification. Go ahead and bring that up.
This is Proverbs chapter 19, verse 16 in the GNT.
Bring it out.
Keep God's laws, and you will live longer.
And you will what?
And you will live longer.
Read.
If you ignore them, you will die.
You will what?
You will die.
Right, so if you ignore to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you will die, right? Especially if you know that you're supposed to be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, but you just choose not to, right? Then death is just around the corner for you, right? So it's better to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, Salakia, which brings you life, than to go against what the Most High has set up and then have death come to you, knocking at your door, right? Can you bring that up for me, brother? What I call? John 5:14.
The book of John, chapter 5 and verse 14.
Bring it out.
Afterwards, Yahushua findeth him in the temple and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more.
Sin what?
Sin no more.
Right, so don't go against the law, statutes, and commandments which is sin, which is transgression the laws of God. Keep reading.
Lest a worse thing come unto thee.
Lest a what?
Lest a worse thing come unto thee.
And what's that worst thing? That's death, right? You don't want to go against these laws, statutes, and commandments and bring death, which is the worst thing that can come unto you. Because what's better than life right now? And not only just, these breaths that you're taking day in and day out, what's better than keeping your life and doing what the Most High has set up for you, you Israelites to do, you Black, Hispanics, and Seminole, Native Indians to do? What is better than to, keep the laws of the Lord and live in His ways? You wouldn't want to have death knocking at your front door, right? You can finish that out, King. Matter of fact, you could drop that. Can you bring that up for me?
This is John chapter 5 verse 14 in the GNT.
Bring it out.
Afterward, Yahushua found him in the temple and said, "Listen, you are well now, so stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you."
Something what?
Something worse may happen to you.
Right. Something worse may happen to you. This is just for better, better edification. Yahushua is telling this person that if you keep on sinning, something worse is coming for you, right? It's going to be creeping up right behind you the more and more that you keep continuing into sin, right? So the best thing to do is to sin no more, which means stop going against the Most High's laws, right? Can you bring me out 1 Samuel 12 and 23, Bob Kishan?
Book of 1 Samuel, chapter 12 and verse 23.
Go.
Moreover, as for me, God forbid that I should sin against the Lord.
What?
God forbid that I should sin against the Lord
Read.
in ceasing to pray for you.
Right.
But I will teach you the good and the right way.
Right.
Only fear the Lord and serve Him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things He hath done for you.
Right.
But if ye shall still do wickedly,
Right.
ye shall be consumed.
Ye shall be what?
Ye shall be consumed.
Right.
Both ye and your king.
Both what?
Both ye and your king.
Right. So you go against the Lord, you will be consumed, right? You're going to be consumed by a lot of different things that is going to be coming towards your way, right? You go ahead and sin against the Lord. There's no telling when that judgment will come, but that judgment from the Lord is going to come. Okay, I'm supposed to be keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. I'm not supposed to buy and sell on the Sabbath day. I'm supposed to keep these feast days, these new moons, and everything. But I just choose not to do so and think everything is going to be good. No, the Most High is going to, bring that judgment towards you, right? Things might be going good for you in your life, and you think, hey, things are going good for me in my life, and I'm in sin. But the Lord can give you $1 million or more just to take it away from you, right? And not only just take that away from you, but take your life away from you, right? And put you in that grave and bring you back up to the third heaven, right? So it's better for you to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, so that the Most High doesn't blow your candlestick out, right?
Right.
Right? You can go ahead and bring that out.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 32. Bring it out. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them.
For the what?
For the turning away of the simple shall slay them.
Right, so you being just simple, right? Okay, I gotta keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, but you just being simple-minded, wanting to do your own thing, right? Just not, you got the understanding, but you don't want to keep that understanding and do what you have to do for the Most High and for yourself, right? Keep reading.
All those boys I never met.
And the prosperity of fools shall destroy them.
In the what?
And the prosperity of fools shall destroy them.
Right. So if you're being foolish and you're doing certain things sorry to have to bring it out, but the brother, he didn't want to listen to the word, and I was trying to have him stay over here because I heard that he said, I got these at Macy's and now I'm trying to go and sell them. Today's the Sabbath day. The brother shouldn't be selling today. So he's trying to, right, and he probably stole them. Who knows, right? And if he did, that's even worse because now he's stealing, right? And he's trying to make a quick buck on the Sabbath day. And that's going against the Most High right there because he's selling them on the Sabbath day, right? When he should be at home, studying and meditating on these scriptures so that he can go ahead and be able to serve the Lord in a better light. But instead, he's trying to prosper right now in this wicked world, right? Like he said, I got to feed the family, right? Well, brother, you got 6 days out the week to feed your family. Today ain't that day, right? You can go ahead and keep reading.
Verse 33. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely.
So what?
Shall dwell safely.
Right, so you want the Most High to be your covering, right? You want to dwell in safety, right? Just like when Adam and Eve went off, they seen that they were naked in the world, right? I'm gonna hip you up to something. So like in the world, you got guys out here that will come out and be around their boys and be like, yo, I'm out here naked today. Does that mean that he ain't got no clothes on? No, that means he ain't got his protection on him, whether it be a weapon or whatever the case may be. So when Adam and Eve figured out that they were naked, they figured out that they didn't have that protection from the Most High anymore. Anything could happen to them. Death was right around the corner for them. Because that protection from the Most High, that covering from the Most High, was no longer over them, right? So it's better to have the Most High as that protection for you than to have no protection at all. You can keep reading, King.
And shall be... Want me to read something at the top?
But in fact, you can drop that. You can drop it, King. You can bring that up.
For lo, the book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
Say that again.
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
My people. Who is my people? That's these people that are on this sign right here. That's the Lord's people, the Israelites, right? So all those sinners who are Israelites shall surely die, right? Keep reading.
Which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
The what?
The evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Right. The evil shouldn't prevent you from keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. We are in this wicked world today, right? And you shouldn't have these evils of the world keeping you from keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, right? You should have it within your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul, whatever, to go ahead and keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Because like I brought out earlier, that right there is life. You want life. You don't want death. You want life. You want to live the life of being a saint, the life of being for the Most High, and not for the left-hand side, right? You should be able to, have that guard up, like, hey, I know this is a wicked thing, I don't want to go off against the Most High. That's why he commanded us to wear these fringes, right? So anytime you're about to go off, you can look down at your fringes and be like, hey, I know what I'm about to do is wrong. I got these fringes on. I'm an Israelite. I gotta turn away from these wicked things and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord to the best of my ability. Come on, you can drop that. You can bring that up, King.
This is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 13.
Bring it out.
That whosoever would not seek the Lord, Yahweh of Israel, should be put to death.
Shall be what?
shall be put to death,
right?
whether small or great, whether man or woman.
Right. So it don't matter if you're a man, don't matter if you're a woman, doesn't matter if you're at the top, doesn't matter if you're at the bottom, doesn't matter if you're a famous person or you just some bum on the street. It does not matter. At the end of the day, you're supposed to be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, and you're supposed to be seeking the Most High day in and day out. Matter of fact, can you get me Joshua 1 and 8,
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
This book of the law shall not depart out of my mouth.
Read that again.
This book of the law shall not depart out of my mouth.
Read.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
Thou shalt what?
And thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
So day and night you're supposed to meditate in these laws, right? Day and night you should be reading and studying these laws. You should be like, how can I serve the Most High better and better every single day? The answer is right here in this book, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Which is found in the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible. By keeping the Torah, right? And also you want to keep the things of the prophets as well, because the prophets, brought out, a lot of different things that will help you to also keep this law, statutes, and commandments, to the best of your ability. But at the end of the day, you're supposed to be meditating on the law so that you can serve the Most High better and better every single day. You can go ahead and finish that out, King.
Start from the top.
Con.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth,
Right?
but thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
Right?
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Nah, just some of what's written.
To all that is written therein.
Right. So you want to go ahead and do everything that is according to what is written therein. Come, you want to come hear the words of the Lord, King? We got headphones. It's all good. You can finish that.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
Right. So in order to have good success and to be prosperous is not selling on the Sabbath day and going against the Most High just to get a little money. The way to be prosperous is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, because what is the most prosperous thing to do? To gain the kingdom of heaven and to live, right? That's the most prosperous thing that you could ever want in this lifetime, is to keep the commandments and live, right? But Khan, you can drop that. You can bring that up, King.
2nd Esdras chapter 7 and verse 20. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of Yahweh that is set before them.
Read that again.
For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of Yahweh that is set before them.
Right, so you got a lot of people who are out here and they learn the laws of Yahweh, right? They've read the, I speak to people day in and day out, and I'd be like, oh, do you know anything about the Bible? Yeah, I read the Bible every day. I've read it plenty of times. But you're reading it plenty of times, you don't have the knowledge. Then when I teach you the knowledge that you're supposed to be keeping these law, statutes, and commandments, and that you're an Israelite, now you despise it. Oh, that's too hard to do. Keeping the laws, it's just way too hard for me to do. I gotta live my life. I gotta get this money. I gotta feed my family. Putting all these things above the Most High, right? When the Most High should come first above all things. You can't be out here talking about I love the Lord, but you're going against His laws, His statutes, and His commandments, right? That's blasphemous. But you can finish that, King.
For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of Yahweh that is set before them. For Yahweh hath earnestly commanded them who come into this world what they, when they have come, shall do that they may live.
Shall what?
Shall do that they may live.
Right. So He already put it in front of you what you should do so that you can live, right? You can go to any bookstore. You can go to Walmart, Target, whatever. You can go right on your phone and download a damn app, and you got this Bible right in front of you. You got the law right in front of you, and you can meditate on that day in and day out. But people would rather be in sin and be out here doing all types of folly because it's gonna please their flesh and it's gonna bring them what they think is prosperity. But I don't see any prosperity in death. Death isn't prosperity. Life is prosperity. You can drop that, King. Oh, you can go ahead and bring that out. Matthew 13 and 41.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, and verse number 41.
Bring it out.
The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity.
And them that what?
And them that do iniquity.
Right, iniquity is just sin, right? So all the ones that are doing sin should be casted out, and all the ones that are doing the righteousness should be, brought in to the fold of the Most High, right? You can keep reading.
Verse 42. And shall cast them into a furnace of fire.
Right?
There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Right. Read that again.
And shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Right. So, when everything is set in stone, right, there's going to be a lake of fire, right? And you don't want to be, two-thirds of Israel is going to get cut off, right? And they're going to be thrown into that lake of fire, right? You don't want to be one of those Israelites that's going to be cut off and thrown into the lake of fire. How do you obtain being one of the 1/3? By keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability and doing everything that the Lord has set in front of you to do, right? You can keep reading.
Verse 43. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father.
In the what?
In the kingdom of their Father.
Right?
Who has ears to hear, let him hear.
Right. So everybody who's listening today, you got ears to hear, and hear this. If you still want to be in your iniquity, and you still want to go against the Most High day in and day out, then that lake of fire is what you're putting yourself into.
Right.
And you're not putting yourself into being into the kingdom of heaven. Hey brother, come listen to the words of the Lord for a second.
Oh no, I'm good.
You good? You too good to listen to the words of the Lord, brother? Come on. Can you give me that same thing in the CEV? It's Matthew 13 and 41. You got it. Can you give me Job 19, 29? We're gonna get the CEV, just to get another translation about the water. Another translation, just for some people who probably didn't understand, what the some people don't understand too much about the KJV, so we'll just get another translation just for the people that don't understand. But you can go ahead and bring that out, King.
This is Matthew 13:41 in the CEV. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will gather from his kingdom everyone who does wrong or causes others to sin.
Right, so everybody who's doing wrong or causing everybody else to be in sin, right? So you got your entertainers out there, you got your rappers, your singers, your basketball players, whatever the case may be, and they're the ones that are the influencers, and they influence people to go against the Most High, right? And they put it out there that this is the way of doing things, because if you do things that are going against the Most High, right? If you're doing things that are going against the Most High, then you could be like me. You can have all the money, you can have all the flashy things, the nice cars, the women, if you just go against the Most High, right? But you can keep reading.
Verse 42. Then he will throw them into a flaming furnace where people will cry and grit their teeth in pain.
Right. So that's all that's going to be coming towards you if you're either sinning or causing other people to sin. All that's going to come for you is pain and suffering. Right. There's nothing good about pain and suffering.
Right.
That's a bad thing. That's something that I wouldn't want. And we're going to keep reading on.
Verse 43. But everyone who has done right will shine like the sun in their Father's kingdom.
Right.
If you have ears, pay attention.
Right. So I'm hoping that, and I pray that, all you Israelites that's listening in is paying attention, right? Whether you already know that you're an Israelite and you keep in the laws, but you're still going off, or you don't know that you're an Israelite and now you do, and you want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you just gotta go even harder day in and day out for the Most High. So you're not being thrown into that fire, but you're gonna be in the kingdom of heaven with your Father, right? And being prosperous on this earth, right? And that prosperous thing that you can have isn't death, it's actually life, right? Wow. You can bring that out, King.
The book of Job, chapter 19, verse 29.
Bring it out.
Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword.
Right.
That ye may know there is a judgment.
There is a what?
There is a judgment.
Right. So there is a judgment. That judgment, like I just brought out, like the brother just brought out, there is a judgment. That judgment is either being in the kingdom of heaven with your Father, or being thrown into that lake of fire, right? The choice is yours. Do you want life or do you want death, right? Me, I'm choosing life. And all the brothers that's standing up here with me today, we all choosing life, right?
Sir.
And we want you to have those ears to hear so that you can choose life as well and not choose death. We pray that you don't choose death. We love you. We don't want you to be in that lake of fire. We want you to be right there with us in the kingdom of heaven, right? Right with the Father, right? You can drop that. You can bring that up, King.
God, this is the book of Job, chapter 21 and verse 17.
Bring it out.
How oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft their destruction upon them. God distributed sorrow in his anger.
Right. Read that again. God distributed what?
God distributed sorrow in his anger.
Right. So that gnashing of teeth, that crying out, when you put in that lake of fire, right? That's the Most High, appears in his anger, right? That's him showing his anger by throwing you in there. Whoop, throw you right up in there, right? You could be on the other side. You could be on the other side of earth. He's gonna pick you up and throw you right in that lake of fire, right? So you don't want to be thrown in that lake of fire. You don't want to keep sinning against the Most High and make him more and more angry, right? You want the Most High to be pleased with you, right? So that he can put you into his kingdom when everything is set in stone, right? But you can bring that up, King.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 31.
Bring it out.
For it is not the power of them by whom they swear, but it is the just vengeance of sinners that punisheth always the offense of the ungodly.
Read that again.
For it is not the power of them by whom they swear, but it is the just vengeance of sinners that punisheth always the offense of the ungodly.
Right. So by being ungodly, you're being offensive. Just playing upon tables. By being ungodly, you're being offensive. You're being offensive unto the Most High. That's just, hey, if somebody keeps offending me day in and day out, it's gonna make me more. Hey, when I was back in the world, right? If somebody was offending me day in and day out, and I'm trying to just overlook it, eventually I might punch that person in the face or something, right? And that's that person's judgment because they kept offending me day in and day out. But we righteous brothers, so we ain't gonna do something like that, right? We gotta use wisdom. But the Most High, though, you go against the Most High day in and day out, you just making him more and more angry, and he gonna go ahead and he's gonna bring that judgment out to you, and you're gonna be casted into that lake of fire, right? But we don't want that to happen to any of our brothers and sisters, and that's the reason why we up here, every Shabbat we owe, so that certain thing doesn't happen to them. We want you to be in this kingdom, right? But you can go ahead and bring that out, man.
It's the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 8.
Bring it out.
He that committeth sin is of the devil.
He that what?
He that committeth sin is of the devil.
Read.
For the devil sinneth from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil.
That he would what?
That he might destroy the works of the devil.
Right. So he's gonna destroy the works of the devil, right? And what is and read it from the top again, King?
It's the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 8.
Right?
He that committeth sin is of the devil.
Is of the what?
Is of the devil.
So he wants to destroy the works of the devil. But if you are in sin, you are of the devil. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What's gonna happen to you? You're gonna be destroyed. If you of the devil and he wants to destroy the devil, then you gonna be destroyed.
Right.
Because you of the devil. You want to be of the right hand side, not the left hand side. The left hand side is the devil. You don't want the devil manifesting over you. You want to be able to rule over your spirit. That way you can keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? Can you give me the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 23? Give me Proverbs 8 and 35.
Book of Romans, chapter 6, and verse 23.
Bring it out.
For the wages of sin is death.
The wages of what?
The wages of sin is death.
Read.
But the gift of Yahweh is eternal life.
Is what?
Is eternal life.
Right. The wages of Yahweh is eternal life and being in that kingdom. Right. But the wages of sin, right? The wages of sin. You can go ahead and play with your life all you want. All it's gonna bring is death. You can play with your life all you want. You know what I mean? Death is at your front door. Don't play with your life, right? The Most High has put it right in front of you, how to keep your life. Right. Don't go against that, right? You can drop that, King. Bring that out.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 33.
Bring it out.
Hear instruction and be wise.
Hear what?
Hear instruction and be wise.
Right, you gotta be wise when you hear these instructions, right? When you hear that you're an Israelite, you're supposed to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, that should get you fired up. I'm an Israelite? I'm God's chosen people? He only chose me? Man, I'm fired up. I want to keep my life. That's how you should be. Not like, oh, I'm an Israelite and I'm going back to sin. Nah, you gotta hear these things and get excited about it and want to go ahead and keep what the Lord has set up for you, not for everybody else, just for you. Keep reading.
And refuse it not.
And what?
And refuse it not.
Right. Don't refuse what the Most High has given you, a blessing. And that blessing is coming from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's a blessing right there in its own self. Because you are of that promise, right? That promise is for you. Don't throw away your promise. Don't throw away what's coming to you. Don't throw away everything that is in store for you. Just to be part of this wicked society and this wicked world. It's not worth it, brothers and sisters. It's not worth it, right? Is there more on that thing? Yeah, read that.
Verse 34. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors.
Right. So you want to be the one that day in and day out, you're keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. You don't want to be the one, you want to be sitting there, you want to be there waiting. Some people be like, all right, I've been keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments for 5 years now, and nothing has happened. I'm going to go back into the world. No, you got to keep on going. You got to endure.
Right.
You got to keep enduring day in and day out.
That's right.
You don't want to be the one to be, okay, that 6 year comes, you don't fell out the truth, and then now it's the time of judgment. Right. You done messed up. You had your chance, but you wanted to go back into the world. Right. You wanted to please your flesh. Right. That's all. Right? Is there more on that?
Yeah. Verse 35. For whoso findeth me findeth life.
For what?
For whoso findeth me findeth life.
Right. So when you hear that you are Israelite, that you're supposed to be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, you found what's the truth.
Right.
You've been taught all these lies, and now you found the truth. And now what you got to do, you got to keep the truth. That you're Israelite is keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You can go ahead and finish that.
And shall attain favor of the Lord.
And shall what?
And shall attain favor of the Lord.
Okay, I want favor of the Lord. Do the brothers up here want favor of the Lord?
Come!
Right, so if we want favor of the Lord, then you should want favor of the Lord as well, right? You don't want to be the unfavored. You want to be the one that's favorable by the Lord. Come on.
Verse 36. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death.
Woo! That right there just tells it all. If you hate the Most High, you just begging for death. Right. You just begging for it. You might as well get down on your hands and knees and just say, Lord, take me out right now. Because you're begging for death. By hating the Lord, that's a scary thing right there. Right? But yeah, can you bring that up for me, King?
Book of James, chapter 1, verse 15.
Bring it out.
Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
Bring forth what?
Bringeth forth death.
Right. That sin is only going to bring forth death for you. And ain't going to bring nothing good towards you. And towards you, and you ain't going to have life. You ain't going to get that crown. Right? You going to get that fire. That's what you're going to get. That's that death you're going to get. But can you get me 2nd Esdras 7 and 20, Bob Bishop? Can you give me Ezekiel 18 and 4?
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 20.
Bring it out.
For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God.
Because they what?
Because they despise the law of God.
Right.
That is set before them.
Right.
For Yahweh has given straight commandments to such as came.
Right.
What they should do to live, even as they came.
Right.
And what they should observe to avoid punishment.
What they should what?
What they should observe to avoid punishment.
So what you should observe to avoid all these punishments that can come to you is observe the law. Observe the commandments. Observe the statutes. Observe keeping everything that the Lord has set up for you. Right? But you can bring that out, King.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 18, and verse 4. Behold, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine.
Right.
The soul that sinneth, it shall die.
It shall what?
It shall die.
Right. The soul that sins shall die. Right? But you can drop that, King. You can bring that out.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 6.
Read it out.
For the Most High hateth sinners.
He what?
The Most High
Hateth sinners.
No, the Lord don't hate.
For the Most High hateth sinners.
Read.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly,
right?
and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Right. So you might think by sinning today and keep on being in your sin, and you're like, tomorrow has came, the next day has came, the next year, the year after that, ain't nothing happened to me, so I must be good. No, he's preserving you for that day of judgment, right? Because you might not die today, but best believe there's something that is in store for you in the day of judgment, right? Right, you got a strong delusion. Like the brother just said, you got a strong delusion because you think that you all good. You think that everything is all good because you in your sin day in and day out, right? You know what that means? You are unbeliever because you don't believe that there is a judgment that's gonna happen for you.
Right.
Might not happen today, might not happen tomorrow, but it's coming because you're going against the Most High. You go ahead and bring that up, okay?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5, and verse number 4. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm had happened unto me.
Read that again.
Say not, I have sinned, and what harm had happened unto me.
So people got a strong delusion because they sinning day in and day out, and they think, well, ain't nothing happening to me, right? Read.
For the Lord is long suffering, and he will in no wise let thee go.
Let thee what?
Let thee go.
Right. So best believe something is in store for you because you can't sin day in and day out and think, oh yeah, there ain't nothing gonna happen to me. You got another thing too is you got people who look up to certain people who are in sin day in and day out, and they don't know that the Most High has set those people up to be deceivers towards you, and you are sitting there just believe, oh well, Lil Uzi makes songs about being a damn demon and everything good is happening to him, right? So if I be a damn demon, everything good's gonna happen to me too. Right? Because at the end of the day, he's already set up by the Most High to deceive you, and you fell right into that trap. Keep reading, Kim.
God. Verse 5. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin.
You don't wanna add sin on top of sin, right? If you sinned yesterday, what's the best thing for you to do? Repent. That's the best thing for you to do. Know that you was in your sin, and don't sin anymore after that, right? Is there more to that, King?
God. Verse 6. And say not, his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation rested upon sinners.
Rested upon who?
Rested upon sinners.
Right. So that judgment rested upon all the sinners. That judgment is coming towards the sinners. I'm pretty sure that judgment ain't gonna be for the ones who are keeping his law, statutes, and commandments to the T. The Israelites. You could be a damn heathen of the other nations, and if you it don't matter if you're sinning or you're trying to be the best that you could be, you're still gonna get that judgment regardless, right? Keeping that law, statutes, and commandments is only for the Israelites. It isn't for everybody. Matter of fact, can you get me Deuteronomy 1, I believe it's 101. Because these law, statutes, and commandments is only for the Israelites. It's not for everybody else, right? It's only that's it. Yeah, these law, statutes, and commandments is only for the Israelites. It's not for everybody else, because Moses was the one that gave these law, statutes, and commandments to a certain people. We gonna see that right now.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, and verse number 1.
Bring it out.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Nah, unto the world.
Unto all Israel.
Moabites.
Unto all Israel.
The goddamn Edomite.
Unto all Israel.
Read.
On this side Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea between Paran and Tophel.
Come on, you could drop that. We get the point that he gave it to all Israel. He didn't give it to everybody else. He didn't give it to all the other nations. He only gave it to the Israelites, and that is it. So if you're an Israelite, these law, statutes, commandments are for you, and you should be keeping them so you can get that life. You can get that crown of life, and not that lake of fire, right? But can you read that, King? What I had you quoting?
The book of Job, chapter 21, and verse 30. That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction.
The what?
That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction.
Read.
They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath.
They should be what?
They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath.
Right. So you're preserved for that day, right? So don't add sin unto sin. You're preserved for the day of destruction, right? And you don't want to keep on being in sin day in and day out, just thinking everything is going to be good. You want to do what you can in this life that you have today, so that that day of destruction, when that day of destruction comes, you're not the one being destroyed, right? But you can go ahead and bring that up, King.
This is the book of Job, chapter 24 and verse 22.
Bring it out.
He draweth also the mighty with his power. He rises up, and no man is true. And no man is sure of life.
You keep reading, King.
Verse 23. Though it be given him to be in safety, whereon he resteth, yet his eyes are upon their ways.
His eyes are what?
His eyes are upon their ways.
Right. So best believe the Most High is sitting there watching every single thing that you're doing day in and day out. Don't think that you can hide your sin, right?
Right.
Just like with Adam and Eve, they couldn't hide their sin. They knew what they did. And they thought they could get away from the Most High. And the Most High was like, what have you done? I know what you did. Just like with Cain and Abel, right? Cain killed Abel, right? Trying to hide his body in the field and everything. Most High already knew what happened, because when Abel died, his spirit went back up to the Most High, crying out to him like, my brother did something that, that is an atrocity. And, that judgment went on to Cain because of the things that he did to his brother, right? Well, Khan, you can hold that, you can bring that up there.
This is Job chapter 24 and verse 22 in the NLT.
Bring it out.
Yahweh in his power drags away the rich. They may rise high, but they have no assurance of life.
They have what?
They have no assurance of life.
Right. So you can be at the highest point in this life, right? Being whoever you want to be, going against the Most High, right? Back when I was in the world, when I was younger, I was like, hey, I want to be a basketball player, right? I didn't make the cut anyways. But I'm like, hey, I want to be a basketball player. But now being in the truth and looking back, I understand that if I was to be a basketball player, I would have to play on the Sabbath. And which one am I going to choose? Am I going to choose to play on the Sabbath and enjoy playing the game of basketball? Or am I going to serve the Most High and obtain that crown of life and not that death that will be coming just because I wanted to play basketball on the damn Sabbath day, right? But with that, I want to say, Kwame Yasharallah.
Kwame Yasharallah.
Kwame Yasharallah.
Kwame Yasharallah.
Kwame Yasharallah.
Hey, said I want come test me. Pick two rap with a sling might lick off a med like a man from Jesse. Heard that they talking that big talk, lip off, which God, listen, don't vex me. I'ma stand for the Father perpetually, definitely big man, don't get chesty. Any weapon they form, don't stress me. Ayy, I'm an Israelite child, no destiny. Separated, he chose and select me. In his raiment, he clothed and he dressed me. Look without him, my soul will be empty. To the Lord of the hosts, I confess thee. I don't do this for sport or for trendies. Disrespect, it'll only get messy. Yeah, they could never take hold of my faith. I'ma stand with my sword at the gate. Holiness to the Lord on the plate. See, your idols ain't holding no weight. I ain't here trying to hold no debate. See, my God ain't no soul to replace. Disrespecting a stone in your face. Look, you must be a fool to